eModels.co.uk. Make something awesome.
Shut up and sit down.
Hello gang, Colin here, Festa 67's workshop. Welcome to part 3 of the eModels ball tank build, which is just in the bottom of the screen there. And this is the Miniart kit number 40008. There you go, Soviet ball tank with the old winter skiaroon. And we're doing the winter weathered look. So, with the old instructions, we're going to start doing the sides of the tank. Okay, so I'm going to be putting in all the rings and things like that, but the actual bullets and ammo that go in the racks, I'm not going to be putting in just yet, because I want to prime them, paint them and then fit them, because I can imagine the back row would be quite awkward to get to. And then we've got a bit of gunnage going on. And then I think if that goes well enough, we might even be able to whop the old tyre on the track. So we'll have a look, see how it goes and see what we get on with. So we'll see what happens. So we'll just nip this off, like so, and we'll use a sanding pad for it. And being that this is early stage sanding, you will come off. I'll be using my coarse one mainly, and then I'll go over and do all the fettling once everything is glued in place. So I tend to have these big old sanding pads in different sizes laying around, and it just lets me give them a go, because I am brutal with me sanding sticks, as people that know me will vouch. So yeah, king of the sanding stick destroyers. So we'll line up a load of spruage at the back there today, just to stop them rattling around as I move them. So, because I've got a sprue rack just to the side here, but everything tends to rattle as I'm filming, and I'm mindful of you guys listening to that. So we'll see what we can do. What are we after? C16 is that one, so we're after him in there. Like that. I'll give you a quick once over. So as far as I know, eModels guys now are getting as back to normal as possible, but still give the folks the opportunity to process your orders. And obviously if you want one of these tanks to build along with me, then pop over to my sponsor there and slap it in your basket, as Ted would say, because they are in stock. So, and they're a nice little tank, if I'm honest. Let's get me glue. That would help, wouldn't it? So let's just grab one of those and grab that out of the multi holder there in the corner, and line that up again. And there's little dimples on the back of these, just there, see? And they go in the little holes in the back there like that. Okay, we'll see how we get on for now. I'm putting in the rings for the little turrets at this stage, and I'm going to put the internal and the external ones in, and then I will not bother putting in the gun like so. So this is A2. So we'll nab that little bad boy. Just give that a little sandy pops. Just like so. Grab me glue and we'll drop that in just like that. Have you some of that? Wash. And then we've got what looks like a fuel tank to go in. So again, I'm gonna get these bits off in. So I'll sand them coarsely before they go in. But once they're in, I can do all me fettling and all of that once they're in, because I'll be able to see what the eye can actually pick up, if that makes any logical sense to me. Let's nip that a bit closer. Give that a tongue out. Just like that. It will come off. There you go. And that is going to live somewhere in there, just like that. Must have been cramped in here. I mean, I feel claustrophobic and I'm only building it. Like so. Little squeeze and let the old capillary reaction of the glue do the job. As you can see, that's scooting all round there. See? Ease and squeeze. Okay. And then we've got a bit of jerry cannage somewhere. Did we make one or two of those? I can't remember now. Section 20. Yeah, we did. So let's have a look and see whether we can find those. And they're the ones we made earlier. But I think we'll paint them. Should we paint them off the model? Mind you though, saying that. Decisions. Am I going to be able to get in there with a hairy stick? I think I should. Oh yeah. Yeah, they'll go. So that can go in then. Decision made. And they're from section 20 on the old destructions. Like that. got an ammunition rack to go in as well. And again, I'm not going to put the actual bullets or rounds in. I'm actually going to put the frame in first. And then these will get painted and then inserted. I reckon that'll work better, because I can imagine when these are made, it's going to be a bit of a bind to get round them with a hairy stick. So I reckon we can get these in, get this all painted with the interior colour of the tank, and then the rest of it will get done when we get round to it with the paintbrush and the detail. And yeah, I reckon that'll look a bit better. There's a little piece there, little rabbit ear sat there, and then we've got those little bad boys. I'll do in a bit of that. Just like that. Squeeze. Done. Squeeze. Done. I think we want a couple of them in there, so I'll grab a couple more and do them whilst we've got them, and then we can just grab them off the bench and get them built. So I think we'll go ahead and do all of those like that. So I still think I should go to Morrison's in one of these. Get the nubs off once the glue's gone off. I want that to have a little bit more strength in it than it's currently got, because they are a little flimsy, them bits, if I'm honest. I'm Captain Clumpy Hands here. If anyone's going to break anything, it's gonna be, yeah, you got it. Okay, there you go, we got there in the end. See, my brain is saying one thing and my hands want to do the other. Yeah, frustrating, but we get there in the end. Just like that. So we can find where they're going to live, which is about there. And they go up any particular way. Let's just double check which way up they go. So that's the bottom piece. Like so, so they would go in like that. so. Beginning to look more tankish now, isn't it, eh? There you go, one of those. And then by powers of deduction, one will go the other side just there. So I think if we put a bit in there first, just to give that something to grip to, they can come in at it like so. And like so. Yeah. And I can see that scooted along there. So yeah. Look at that. So that's those with the tanks. We got the inner rings to go in, C17. So let's see if we can find that. I saw it somewhere. It is as well. That one. I suppose the clue would be in the number, wouldn't it? C17. Yeah, that'd be like Festa. Okay. And that is going over in that side on that one. Bosh, there you go. And all I was doing there was giving it a jiggle until I felt the 4 little pins drop in the relevant holes on that, and then I can just quickly scoot a little bit around just to make sure she's caught like that. That's a spare for the other side when I make that. Then we've got 2 of the number 4 ones to go in with the little tiny guns, and these internal rings will enable me to push the gun balls, these little things. These are going to get pushed in from the inside once I've built the guns and put the guns in. So I'm going to paint all of this with the rings and everything in place, and then push these in from the inside. Now, the build instructions tell you to do it the complete opposite, but having test fitted one, I kind of thought, well, yeah, it's all well and good it goes in, but when you want to come to paint the kit, it's a bit of a bind having to faff around like that with these rings, and I thought, well, there's got to be an easier way. So me being me, I just sat there and figured it out and went with that. Now I know it works, so that's how I'm going to build mine. So let's just give that a jiggage to make sure that they're dropping in like so. He says, I felt one go in, I'm sure I did. Let's just double check that. That all was right, I did feel it. There you go. Let's put a bit more glue in there now. she's gone. Just like so. Love it. Grab that one. Like that. And we'll do the same there. Just like that. Oh, phone's going mad with YouTube notifications there off the side. Chris has just gone live doing one of these wooden builds by the look of it. So pop over and have a little looky look. And that's the beauty with current events with the hobby. A lot of us that do not only builds for eModels, but you know, we all do live shows and things, as well as the eModels Monday live stream. But the beauty of the current situation is everyone's just got together and come up with little shows that we're all doing just to keep everyone occupied during this current dilemma we're all in. So yeah, it's been nice to see that everyone has come together on that one, to be quite honest with you. Might as well lop those off and be done with it. That's coming off. Number 19, because I need that. So that's a finished sprue. So we can look for the foot pedals, which are just here, like that. Yeah, they're tiny, aren't they? I suppose they would be. Like that. Bit of ammo, not doing them this episode. They'll be chopped off and put on the pegs, ready to be painted. So the next time we see a lot of this, it's actually going to be on the clips, ready to be painted, and then we'll do a bit of a paint session in a video and let you all see what we're up to with the painting. So everything that is getting the base colour will get painted up. That'll be the entire inside frame plus what I'm making today will get done. So we've then got the track section to build. And fit, and then we can paint probably the interior framework and the track all at the same time, and then I can come back at the track afterwards and weather and do whatever I need to make that look more trackified, should we say. So yeah, but this little session is more about putting all of the little bits and nooks and crannies of both halves of this together, because I've got the other half to do. So I'm going to put that together and finish that, and then we'll have 2 duplicate halves done. So that's all the rings and everything in that one. And then what will happen with that is you'll have a gun mount that will go in, which is one of these, and it'll push in from the inside like that, see, and then that becomes a turny gun mount. See? But for me it's just easier to paint that with that out the way. See, I'll put them in afterwards, so that's what I'm going to do. So that is the internal gubbins done on those, which brings us up to the tyre being built stage. So have we got a bit of gunnage we can do, says Festa. I think we have. I think we can put one of these together. So that's what we're going to grab. So what do we want? We want a 12 and a 13. So that's of those. One of each of them. Like that. Yeah, so that'll fit. So we're going to just give that a bit of a start. And again, just to get components to start going together, the final going over it with the glue and all of the lipstick and mascara, it can wait. It's just getting things assembled now on this AB14, which looks like a tiny breech. Could well be. And that drops in like so, there or thereabouts. So I'll give that a welly. Yeah, you will go like so. Number 4. So that's a bit of casting swarf. Some of these pieces are really tiny though. I go into whisper mode when I'm concentrating, I do apologise. Some people are probably going good. Yeah. Maybe number 10 and number 11. Number 11 goes that side over there. Oh, clumsy. I'll have to let some of these bits dry, mate, and come back at that. Because my big old £5 of chipolata hands are knocking them off. So I'm going to pause and we'll come back after that piece has dried in place and finish that gun, because I'm going to end up knocking bits off of it. I can see straight away it's pretty much twice I've done it in as many minutes there. So yeah, let's get a pair of tweezers to hold that in, just to stop me from twitching on it. There you go. And we'll let that do its thing over there. So I'm going to pull, and we can now carry on with this little bit of gunnage because it's had time to dry. So let's get the old nippers of shame out. Just open me drawer here so I've got something to rest the old spruzy popsies on. Let's try and remember which one it was, and it was that one there. Well spotted, mate. And we'll get the old they'll get here when they get here. What part are we after now? I think it was number 5, which is tiny if I remember rightly from the first time I did it. Yeah, very tiny. Believe it or not, that's it. Put the bracket on there. Just like that. I'll have to get the old tweezers out for the next bit, folks. Know what'll happen. The carpet monster is looking at me at the moment and it's going chum yum yum. I spot myself a bit of model plastic and I'm hungry. Yeah. Well, you know what you can do. Mr. Carpet Monster. You can take a pill. Because you're not getting it. That's what we want. Like that. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, little. You will go in. Like that. That's pretty much what we want. That was fun, wasn't it? Pew. Yeah, I was getting a bit twitchy there on that. Like that. And we can drop him on. Now that I'm 100% happier. There you go. I'll just grab you and knock like you're flying, because I can. Like that. Now we can put you there. Ding dong. Let's have a little look for the next couple of bits. Let's move them over there and get these two little bits on the go, because when these are done I can then glue the halves together and go around with the old sanding sticks and give it a bit of a larrapin, because I've got just off of shot on me right there about half a dozen of these, all in different grits. And what I tend to do is as you can see, I'll just build away quite happily, putting bits and bobs together, and then I'll go back at it once the glue's dried, doing all the nubbing and the seams and all of that, because a seam like that would annoy me, so I'll go back at that when the piece is actually dry, because then I get to see what the eye is going to see when I've built it, and that then determines to me whether it's worth doing or not. Are you going to see it? Is it going to be that noticeable? Things like that. So that's how I tend to do it. Others may do it in their own imitable way, but it works for me. It's probably not the way that other builders would do it, but that's the beauty of this hobby. We all do things slightly differently than each other. And like I say, I'm not saying my way's the best way. It works for me. Always remedy the situation with a dab extra of glue. Like that. Bingo. So that's all of the canning done. Action arms on the side there as well, and probably do the door as well. So we'll get them bit and start the ball rolling on that. See what the door looks like in situ, because I want to put all the hinges and everything on, and I'll tape the door in place temporarily on there. I think we can have a wee looky-loo and do that, so we can have a bit of doorage going on next. Yeah, figure out how that's going to look in place. So I want to look for the corresponding dimples that are going to be the internal part of the hinge, around about there, I reckon. So let's slap a bit of tape over that and put that in place. Reasonably in place anyway, just for now. Like that. That piece in there. Over there. I will just lop those little ears off. And according to that, they then go in the door, he says. door back off just for a sec. Just put that on. And a bit of glue in the middle there, because there's pegs in the middle as well. Like that. You will go in. There you go. Like so. And then do the same on the opposite side. And another bit in the middle. Like that. Yeah. Let that dry. We'll come back and do a couple of the feet now. So we want that bit there. And we want that piece over there. And cut it just there. So that's those. Those two bits are sorted. And then we fit this. Yeah, that goes in there like that. Do this. Yeah, there you go. And then just drop them in. And a big old watch down the middle there, like that. And then the ski is going on the outside. Like that. There you go. And that is a foot in place. Fragile. No festering allowed on that. Let it dry. Leave it. Don't even look at it. Well, I've gone and done it now because I've just gone and looked at it, and I doofus. I'll keep that sprue down because I want that. That one can go away. I want that, so I'll grab that because that's got the dual opening wheel, and also has the internal grab handle for the door, so I might as well lock that off whilst I think of it. Just make sure that that is the internal handle for the door before I cut it off. It is. My powers of deduction, Cole, you done something right there, mate. You go careful, won't you? A bit like that. And that's another sprue finitoed. It's one of those, I don't know whether you guys get it, but you get excited when you're doing a kit because you're nearing completion, but also you get this little thing of when you finish a sprue, you're glad you finished the sprue, but you're also thinking, oh, yeah. Well, I am anyway. I have mixed emotions when I build kits. I look forward to doing them and I start them, and you see sprues finishing and you're getting nearer to the end. But I also I fall in love with me kits almost, and you build this relationship with the model that you're creating or trying to create, and yeah, So I kind of have mixed emotions at this stage. It slams the door shut. We then got the wheel of central in the middle. I suppose that's why it's the wheel of central cult. So we can have ourselves some of that as well going on. There you go. Yeah. Now that is going over there for a sec. When we can have a look at the hinges whilst I think of those, and that'll be the door sorted, and then we can get back to where we wanted to be, which was the tyre. Only to cover it all with mud and detritus, which, yeah, but I know, but that's what us modelers do, innit? These I'll cut off the sprues when it comes to painting them, so bear that in mind, folks. You'll see them at some point on a cocktail stick or other implement, and they'll be ready to paint, same as all of these. I'll keep these on the sprues, take the nubs off, and then they'll go through in the spray booth, so we can have a bit of that going on. So we can pop the door back on as near as damn it in its place, so that we can get a bit of hinging going in. That's what we want to do now, isn't it? Get the hinges in. Like that. There you go, a little bit of masking tape, although it's not very sticky, it's enough for what we're about to do, which is we're going to put a dab of glue in there and a dab of glue in there, and then we'll get the big tweezers out. And we'll do a bit of that. Like so. And just see about getting that in place with the door where we want it to be. Again, I'm not overtly worried about too much glue. So now we can let that fully cure. But that's the internal part of one half, and all of that is going to get painted the same colour. Let's give it a good old larrapin. 2 or 3 coats on there. I've got another one of these to do, so you've seen one. I'll go ahead and build the other one, and then all of this then will go and be airbrushed, but I'll put a new piece of Tamiya over there and we'll give it a thing. I might even spray it without it on there, I don't know, we'll see. We got the gun sorted, so we're happy with that now. So we can put that to one side, and we can start, pardon me, getting tyres done. So let's grab me multi-holder out, might as well, because I'm going to be using more than one pot. So let's slap that there for a minute, because I'm going to be using my super gloopy and one of those lacky bands, and see what we can come up with. I think I'm going to like that. And then we'll grab the said frame. We'll get a bit of the old gloopy stuff like that, and let that go sticky. Alright. And then we can now, with the second piece we've done, drop that on the bottom like that, and we can come and grab the sticky bit that we started, now that that's had time to cure for a bit. And you can see what I'm doing here. I'm doing it in quarters like that, bit of stickage, and then we'll have a bit of stickage now on this bit. And the theory being is, when I put the lacky band on in a moment, that'll start the process of all of this then trying to come together. It's a tough one, but it's doable. That's what I think anyway. Like that. So then I want the glue to bite. Not fussed about the scene yet. That's really not what this is about. This is about getting the tyre on, getting the tyre in place, getting glue in, and then letting the glue do its thing. Like that. Now I'm reasonably happy that that's going to go together quite happily. Yeah. Like so. I just want to make sure we've got a bit of turnage to go. But it might bite onto the internal plastic. If it does, it does. If it don't, it don't. Not worried about that just yet, because I can always release it once the elastic band's off. There you go. I think we got a bit of turnage now, and I want to try and retain that ability to turn it, but it is tight. So yeah, bear that in mind, folks. But you know, do we turn the tracks on our big armour tanks when we make them? Not really. But I want to try and get it as good as I can. So I'm already spotting a big scene there. So I'm going to go gloop to raise this section, and then you come at it after with a sanding stick. Now I got this off of Fox. I think he did it on a big Gundam leg ages and ages and ages and ages ago. And I can remember I was just getting back into the hobby at the time, and I'd been watching Tony, and then he said, "Oh, have a nip over and watch my other mate's channel." He said, bloke called Fox. And I went, "Yeah, no worries, mate. Send me the the details, and I'll go and have a wee looky-loo. And I went over and I started watching, and I was like, okay, what are all these big... Well, at the time I thought they was transformers, but I can assure you I was soon instructed that they're not. But yeah, and I didn't get it at first, you know, and I was like, it's not really my cup of tea, so to speak. But I watched and observed, and I really got into the techniques that he was using, and suddenly I got it, if that makes any logical sense. I got where he was coming from and how he was applying the techniques that he was using on these on other areas of modelling. So I really got into watching his weathering and that, and then he let me know about Ted and started watching Skipper. And I can watch these guys do their weathering for hours because they make it look so effortless, you know, de-seaming and weathering and stuff. And hopefully I'll get the opportunity to try to do what I can with this, because I'm not the greatest at weathering. I'm still learning it, you know. So yeah, I'll have a good go. I'll always give it me best, but I do doff me hat to the people that do it a lot better than I do. So we've got that bit of seaming going on now, and I'm gonna let that do its drying now, and then we can come at it with a sanding stick and all of that. But I think all in all we've had a good little sesh there. Other pipes that will be going in as well. You know, that pipe goes up there, that one goes in around there somewhere. Oh yeah, there they are. There's me trying to squint so that I could see what I'm looking at, and there's another picture of it there. And then we've got some little pipes that go to the radiator section and that, so we'll chop them off and get them in place once this tyre's had time to do its thing, because I want to get the rubber band off and make sure everything's moving around on that before I go any further. So I'm going to call that episode done. So I'm going to clear off. Feel free to pop over to eModels.co.uk and have a look in store for any bits and bobs that you're after to help you out at the bench in these delicate times, should I say. The guys will email you when your order's dispatched, just to let you know it's on its merry way. Things are beginning to return to normal. Say hello to the guys. Website's still open, so you can still order. Props to James, Pete and everyone else for keeping us guys able to do our hobby in these needy times. And look out for the other builders videos on the eModels channel there. I'll see you in part 4 doing this little fella, and until then, thank you all for watching. Stay home, stay safe, keep well, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye bye for now. Ball tank.